Ali, you faced London Irish this week. One of only two sides that the Chiefs have never beaten in the Premiership. How would it feel if you got a victory over them here at Sandy Park?
Well, it's another game. We're not really looking back at what's happened. We're looking at what's in the future, and it's really exciting at the minute. The guys have put in some cracking performances the last 2 weeks, and you know they're getting just rewards for their hard work. They've put a lot of effort into their self-improvement throughout the season, and you can see that coming through in a lot of their play. But as far as we're concerned, it's just another game. It's an important game. We've just got to attack it, and all we're worried about is not performing, and that's really how we're going to approach the game.
You've obviously put the performances in the last couple of weeks. You know, you got the TMO win at Worcester last week. You know, this must be exciting times at the moment. You've got an Amlin Cup quarter-final coming up as well, and you're in the top 5.
Well, it's where you want to be at the end of the season. You don't want to be playing dead games or anything like that. We're excited about the opportunity, what we could grab here. So we're very much, just obviously pretty simple. We're looking at the next game, and then obviously Stade Francais looks after itself. But the guys are fully focused about this weekend because we've got some important league points that are on offer. And if we get a good level of performance, we're capable of getting those points.
How important is it that the guys focus on this weekend? They don't have one eye ahead onto Paris.
Well, there's no chance of that. We're not interested in anything else. We haven't even talked about it. So we're just concentrating on playing against a top Premiership side. You know, maybe their results haven't shown it, but they're playing some bloody good rugby. So that's going to be a tough challenge this weekend. And if we're not on our game 100%, they'll take advantage of that.
Do you think they're looking at this game as an opportunity to kind of get back on the rails, as it were?
Well, no, I think they'll just be coming, ready to play a Premiership game of rugby, which is as tough as anything that's out there. So we're not too worried about what their approach will be. We've just got to make sure we concentrate on our performance and make sure we take our attack and our game to them.
Injury-wise, how is the squad looking?
Very good. Generally, we're pretty good. Obviously, got a couple of long-term injuries, but with guys coming back from injury now, we're starting to virtually get a full complement out there. So that's been testament to the physio and medical staff have done a fantastic job with those guys. But the guys are fit as well because the strength conditioners have worked them hard. So all in all, we're a good camp, and we're playing some good rugby. So the guys want to get out here and want to play in this team.
How important is it that you've got that competition for places back now? Because obviously, a month, 2 months ago, it was quite a threadbare squad in certain positions, particularly places like centre in the second row, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know about that. I think we've still got people that are flexible, that can play in the midfield and on the wing and at fullback, which is great. That's what the squad's ideally supposed to cope with. So I think it's very important to have those options because it's going to be a tough run in, and we'll be able to cover any problems we have or any dips in form. We'll be able to cover with absolute quality, which is great news to have.
And finally, where do you see London Irish's strengths lie?
All over the board. They've obviously got a very pacey back three and set of backs. Their forwards are more than capable of driving teams like Leicester, like they did last week. So they're strong all the way across the board. But every Premiership side is, and that's the challenge of it. We've got to be at our very best to get a good result at the weekend. So as I say, we're pretty focused on our own performance, but they'll be tough on all accounts.
That's all I need.
Both Rob and Tom have both said this week about the growing maturity of the boys and the experience they've gained over the last 12 months. Now we're seeing that particularly in the results last weekend.
Yeah, I think it's just a natural. It's a bit of a natural progression. The guys are well used to the situations that they're coming into. They've worked hard to get into these positions to play, big games. Which this last month and a half of the season is obviously crucial for all teams. So you can see the progression in the squad. The important thing is it was improving, and we're still striving to get better and better. And that's what's fantastic about this group of players. They're never satisfied. satisfied. They keep want to improve, and that's maturing them, and it's gaining them experience along the way.
We're seeing the character as well coming out in the guys, particularly last weekend again.
Well, it hasn't been in doubt. They work so hard for each other. The things that you don't see on a Saturday afternoon, they're putting in a lot of time through the weeks. They do a lot of work on their analysis. They do a lot of work in their prehab, in their gym, on the field, and that all comes through. That just bonds the side, and they all get on well. They stick together pretty tight. So when we're in sticky situations, that's what you need. You need a group of guys that are willing to work for each other, very selfless. They get on with their jobs and work for the good of the team, and that's fantastic to see as a coach.
Again, over the last few weeks, we've seen over the season, the press have labelled us pretty much a forwards team, but we've seen the backs operating, certainly in the last 2 games in particular, and showing their worth.
Well, I think it's good to be pragmatic, as we go. I don't think much has changed really. At the end of the day, the guys put in the hard work. It was obviously some things have been going well recently, but it's only down to the hard work of the clear out, producing quick ball, or whether it's the footwork and creating space to offload has come into our game, which is fantastic. But that's all due to a lot of hard work that goes in behind the scenes, whether it's holding decoy lines, whether it's on the ball. So as a team, we're progressing nicely, and I think we can certainly test most defences now.
Brilliant. Thank you.